Good morning, everybody. This is Jeff from Rust Bucket Valley. It's really a stormy day outside today, so I thought we'd take and do something a little bit different. So I know you didn't expect this from this channel, but I'm kind of known in the area for my lasagna. So I thought I'd show you how to take and make that. The things you need are oregano, basil, onion, garlic, crushed tomatoes, tomato sauce, and of course, pound of ground beef. So you take a large pan and you put the pound of ground beef in there, and the seasoning on the top is the oregano and the basil. And then you chop up an onion, and I'll show you that, and garlic, and well, I'll show you how to put this whole thing together. So when you go ahead and you get your other things together, so we're going to take an onion and we're going to cut both sides off of it, and then we are going to take approximately a quarter of this onion, and we're going to take the outer layers off of it. Just one layer is good. And then we are going to cut it very fine. Okay. Okay. It's about that much onion. It's about a quarter of it. For the garlic, go ahead and peel the garlic. See, taking off a lot of the wrapper on the outside. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to get two of these little sections right here, and taking a wrapper off these things is kind of a pain, so I just generally take a knife and I go ahead and I squeeze them like that. Here it is, you squeeze it with the knife, and you can take and peel the wrapping off real easy. Just comes right off. Here you go. You have the garlic. Put the wrappers aside, and you take the garlic and you mince it real fine, or you may use a garlic press to take and get it to the consistency that you like. See, wrapper comes off really easy. Chop this real fine. All this mixture goes on top of the meat. All that mixture went on top of the meat. You put this on a high fire, and then you will go ahead and brown all this before you do anything else. And then after that, you'll add the tomato sauce and crushed tomatoes. Okay, go ahead and break the meat up. And as it's cooking, you're stirring. You see over here that the garlic and the onions are distributed through here. So this will come up to heat here in a minute or so. And then we'll just brown this, and then I'll be back with you. Show you what happens next. So here we have the meat cooking. It smells absolutely wonderful with all the garlic and basil and oregano and the onion and everything is just all coming together. Where it really comes together is you cook this for 50 minutes. Okay, and I'll show you what other ingredients go in there. The next two things after this is all browned and mixed together and everything is you add 1 large can of crushed tomatoes and 2 cans of tomato sauce. Okay, and that's after it's the meat is browned. So then you take that mixture, mix it together, and then that cooks for 50 minutes together. Okay? So I'll be back with you when we get the tomato products in there. Okay, so we've added the tomato products in here, and we've also cut down the heat to low. The next thing you do is you cook that for 50 minutes, and you need one of these. Okay, this is kind of a screen that takes and goes over here, because when this cooks, this is going to pop a little bit, and you don't want the tomato mixture all over your stove. So go ahead and put that on there, and put that on low. And so you'll set your timer to 50 minutes. There you go. And it'll let you know when it's done. Meantime, what you do is you prepare for making the pasta. What I generally do is I use a large stock pot, and I will go ahead and fill this up to this level about right here. Okay, so you can take and cook the lasagna noodles, and since this has to cook for about 50 minutes, when you hit the 40-minute mark on here, you want to take and put the pasta noodles in there, because they need to cook for about 14 minutes. So I'll show you how that happens when we get to that point. But one kitchen tip that I would like to give you is lasagna is kind of a messy thing. So what I did is I got one of these aluminum trays at the market, and you just put everything in here. You can lay up the lasagna, where you put the meat sauce down first, then you put a layer of pasta, then you put a layer of cheese, and so on until you get to about ½ an inch on the top. And then you have to take and put this into the oven at 325 for about 25 minutes. And what that does is it melts all the cheese together and everything, and also takes and browns the top real nice. Okay, so I'll be back with you when we get to the next step. So one thing you can do in the meantime, while you're waiting for your sauce mixture to complete its cooking cycle, is you have to take and prepare the cheese. I use 3 kinds of cheese. I use store brand pre-shredded cheese. I use 1 8-ounce package of Parmesan cheese. Put that in here. I use 2 packages, 8 ounces each, of medium cheddar. And just go ahead and pour them into the bowl. And then 2 8-ounce packages of mozzarella. And these all have to be blended together. And the mozzarella cheese is a little clumpy, so you have to take and break those up. Mix everything up really well with your hands. Okay, don't spill on the floor. This is more of a mess to take and clean up later. But just make sure all of the cheeses are really mixed really well. And then when you're finished mixing this up, you will take and put this in the refrigerator and keep it nice and cool. So you can tell it's mixed, that there will be uniform distribution of the various types of cheeses all through. Okay, the Parmesan cheese is a little bit darker in color, so you can actually see that. Okay. So we're just about there. And that looks pretty good. Okay, and then you put that in the refrigerator. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for our mixture to cook, we washed our pan, so it's ready to accept the layup of the lasagna. And we go ahead and we give this a stir. Here we go, just a little bit, not too much. Just want to make sure all the spices and everything are equally distributed. Wish there was some way to take and put a scent on this video, because this is really good. Okay, go ahead and put that back to bed. We have a container of water in our stock pot on a very low flame. Okay, so we still have 38 minutes left on our sauce. So we're going to be starting up the lasagna noodles here pretty soon. Okay, so we're going to take and give this another stir here because it's coming along very, very well. Okay. And everything's getting all mixed together, so that's very, very good. Okay. So meanwhile, we're starting to get a little bit of steam from our pot here. So we're going to jump the gun just a little bit here, and we're going to put our pasta in there and let it start cooking. The pasta that I really like is Barilla. They have a very fine product, not a sponsor, but we go ahead and use them anyway. So we will take the entire package and put it in there, and you want to put it in there, and it'll go ahead and stick out, but as it cooks, you want to fan it out just a little bit here. Okay, so turn up your heat just a little bit, take and bring that more to a boil. Okay, so now what you're going to do is, we're at 29 minutes on here. So when we're at about 14 minutes, we're going to go ahead and drain the hot water off of the pasta, and then we're going to fill it up with cold water. And that chills the pasta, and it keeps the starch from making the pasta noodles stick together. And it makes it easier to peel them apart when we're going to take in and lay up the lasagna. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cook that, and I'll be back with you. Okay, so we got about 10 minutes left on our timer. So let's go ahead and give this the last stir. We've been stirring it about every 10 minutes or so, make sure everything's all together. And this is really thickened up now. We have our pasta noodles that are just about cooked. So we put a top on there to help concentrate the heat. So she'll cook a little bit sooner. So this right here is Lucy, and she's all excited because we're making lasagna today. And here's Marcy, because she's all excited that we're making lasagna today. Marcy, we're making lasagna today. What do you think about that? Huh? What do you think about that? Yeah? You excited? Excellent. We'll have some in the middle a little bit. Anyway, we're just about ready here. So next thing you'll see is where we prepare everything and we start laying up the dish. All right, so we have all our materials that are ready to go into this. We have our completed meat sauce. We have our cheese fresh out of the refrigerator. We have our pasta that has been drained and is sitting in cold water right now. And we've also taken preheating the oven for 325. So when we get this full of the pasta assembly, then we will take and put that in there to melt all the cheeses together. Okay, so looks like we're ready to go. First thing we do is we take pasta and we take and lay down 3 pieces side by side in the bottom of the container. Just like this. Okay, then put a little bit of the meat sauce on there. Just kind of spread it around. So when you cook this, all this will melt together. Okay, spread that around real nice. Then you want to have and put a generous portion of cheese on there. No tools required, just use your hands. Okay, that is the first layer. Okay, next layer. Go ahead, put down your lasagna noodles. Usually these stick together. When you put them in cold water, it stops that starch. See how easy they come apart? Stops that starch from coming together there. And just kind of glues everything together. Okay. More cheese on there. Make sure it's distributed really well. Another layer of pasta. Put that on there. You put one here on the edge. Reinforce the edge just a little bit. Move these over. Okay, everything fits very nicely. More meat sauce. So when you have pasta in a restaurant and you see there's layers, this is how they do it. Okay. Put another layer of cheese on there. Okay, and the oven is ready. So the timing of this came together really nicely. So this does cook down just a little bit. So if you take and lay this up and it's right at the top, don't worry, it won't boil over. See, it's just peeled right apart. Okay. A little meat sauce in there. Tuck the ends in. Press it down just a little bit. Spread everything out. Okay. Another layer of cheese on the top. One more layer of pasta, that is going to be it. Okay. And we cooked a whole box of pasta and we have one piece left. So that worked well. Okay. Take the rest of the remaining meat mixture. Go ahead and put that on here. Okay. Go ahead and spread this around. A little bit even distribution there. Okay, light dusting of cheese on the top. Okay, the rest in there. Boop. Okay. So that was 5 8-ounce packages of cheese, and that's it. That's 40 ounces. Wow. Anyway, we're going to take and pop this in the oven, and we're going to put a foil sheet on here and let it cook for about 20 minutes, and then we're going to take the foil off. And then we're going to let it just lightly brown the top, okay? And we're at 325 degrees on the top shelf. And I'll show you what the finished product looks like. So here we are, anxiously waiting for the lasagna. Are you excited? Huh? Are you? Are you excited? Ooh, that's a happy puppy dance. Yeah, says I'll go wait in the other room. It's coming out soon, so we've got 9 minutes left. All right, so we went ahead and we cooked it for 20 minutes, and the top is just all melty good, and you can see the various layers inside, and you can see the layers here, and this is what you want to wind up with, hopefully. And we'll go in for a taste and see what we've done here. Very good. All the flavors have come together. You taste everything, the oregano, the basil, the onions, the tomatoes, the cheese. The pasta is very, very nice. So I hope this has been a little bit of help to you so you can take and create this creation. So So do us a favor at Rust Bucket Valley. Please subscribe and hit like. We'd love to hear from you. If you hit subscribe and the notification, you never know what we're going to do next. Okay, so I hope your Saturday is wonderful. And I'm going to go enjoy this. And I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for stopping by. Talk to you next time.